take this opportunity. I don't have mirrors in my house, so this is just going to be a little get ready with me. Real fast. It's getting so long. I don't know what to do with it, honestly. Alright. Yesterday certainly was a day of pets. And I knew it would be, because when different astrologers are talking about like similar storylines within my big three, that just makes me pay attention. And there were two circumstances yesterday that came up regarding to pets, but neither of them were mine directly, but they were in proximity to me. A few days ago on one of those I did that wrong. A few days ago on a local pet community page here where I live, there was a notice of a little pug had gotten hit on the side of the road right by where I live. They said the same road and everything, and I was like, oh no, that looks like my neighbor's dog. Well, my neighbor's been out of town, his husband and wife duo, and I know they're back, but it was just one of those times that I opted out. I just said, this isn't going to be my storyline. I'm just going to witness this one. And so, a couple days go by. Don't really talk to the neighbors. But then another neighbor that lives on the other side of them came home from being... It just sucks. People think I'm paranoid about how much precaution I've taken in to taking care of my animals, and like what the extensive things I've gone through just to keep them together because they're my family. I'm trying to grow stuff out. That's what this is. This has to grow out so it can get, because this is part of my racing stripe. So this has to go back into there. So it is what it is. And then when I first moved to northern New Mexico, the lady that I rented from allowed me to live there until her son got out of prison, and asked me to feed all of the cats outside for her. And so I did. I also kept trying to get with her to work with me so that we could collect and gather these cats and get them spayed and neutered so they don't keep multiplying. Because that's how I got all my dogs, was from pet rescue. I know how troublesome 999 and she would flake every time, and I couldn't drive frickin' to all these places drop cats off. I was willing to pay for it. I was gonna pay for all of them, and she just wouldn't do it. And then when I left, I was up to feeding 22 cats. And I fell in love with those cats because I don't have family. I love animals. I feed birds. I feed skunks. I feed squirrel. I feed whatever's hungry because I've been hungry. And when I left, I was even driving freaking 30 miles round trip to feed the cats because she wouldn't go over there and do it until her son got out of prison. Because she drank too much. She just couldn't get herself up off the couch, motivated, whatever. I know all the things that I used to not be able to do when I drank too much too. I don't fault her, I relate to her. And in our last communication that we had, she had threatened to shoot all the cats. And that's broken my heart for 2 years. Because when I moved in, there were mounds all over the place. I'm like, what are these? And then as soon as she said, I'm just going to shoot them all, I'm just like, that's what she's done before. I just throw dirt over them. And then I found out a while ago that she had passed away. And I had blocked her on page. I don't want to see nothing she did. I blocked her. I blessed and released. I just didn't want to feel that every time I saw her name or anybody she's related to or anything, anybody that thinks she's a wonderful, delightful human being. And so, but I was laying there last night and I had this inclination to look up her name on Facebook, and I did. And I saw a profile of hers that I don't know how I didn't see it before, because it wasn't time. I wasn't supposed to get the answer yet. And there was a thread where she had posted a bunch of these little kittens. And a woman in the local community that I've seen in threads on, like, you know, the local restaurant review, different places. There's not a lot of people in the town I live, so it's a lot of repeats, you know. It's easy to make your face known. You need the fan on, honey bear? Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Good girl. And on this thread, this woman said, "Bring them to me. I'll help you get rid of them. I'll help you find homes for them." And so I sent that woman a message yesterday, and I said, "I just want to thank you for helping those sweet babies find homes." And I told her my side of everything I just said here. So it just goes to show, more evidence, more proof that when you seek the truth will find you. The truth will seek you, and that's what's happening on in the collective. The sum of all parts is what I call it. The collective consciousness. They're like, collective consciousness. I'm like, it's the sum of all parts. Hi, my name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on how I feel about things. And, well, I don't got no earth in my chart, so I was born in San Bernardino, so technically I'm alien. I'm one of them hybrids. You know how you know that you're a hybrid? Because if you look in your history, they've been fucking with you your whole life. They've been messing with you your whole life. They've been messing with me. They put these in when I was like 6 years old, because I haven't had a cavity since. 7. Oh, Luna's just put herself back to sleep. She's like, I'm not listening to you. I'm not in the mood. It's a pretty girl. Okay. She's being silly. She's halfway between here and the Rainbow Bridge. She's getting goofy. It's like animals do it, people do it. It's just a frequency, you know. So much truth is coming out right now. It's really kind of cool to see. You know, for my whole life, I heard people talk about, oh, don't you know, you got, you know, how truth can't be handled, and how, like, society their mental capacity will collapse because they can't believe the reality and all this stuff. It's just like, give people more credit. People like me, man, we've endured so much on this earthly plane. My thumbnail is that time I was on Crete when we bombed Iraq. I'm sorry for my service. Don't ever thank me for my service. When people thank me for my service, they're just trying to... It's just something controllers do. You know? It's just... Why would you think people for going in places that we have no business and killing people that didn't deserve to die? Why would you think people for that in 2025, knowing what America is and how we're paying these little part-time soldiers to go into our own cities and determine who the bad guys are, when if you just ask their wives and their family at home, you know who the bad guys are. I got a new cup. Matches my... I got this tattoo for Robin Williams because when I was a little girl, 3 years old, 77, Popeye came out. I am what I am. I always identified that to that. You know? I just pick and choose who I am around. So, yeah, he's long gone. Because when you pick money, property, and prestige, there's consequences that come with that. I got a comment. Michelle, on somebody else's channel, they're talking about AR, AI, and stuff. I'm like, as an IT professional, I find people's faith in technology amusing. Intelligence artificial is a lazy man's tool. It's like a leaf blower. It's no different than me, to me. That's all it is. It's a leaf blower. AI is a leaf blower. So every time I hear people that I'm getting ready to make some moves here. To plan some things in the future. You go sit by Grandma Retta? Good girl. Here, you want me to turn off the light? There, I'll just do that. I don't need light. Doesn't matter what I look like when I say the things that I say. I got this whole freaking movement that I've been stacking up for, God, 8 years now. It involves these. These are stickers. I get mine from the Sticker Mule. Get they're like, how much are they? I think they're like $200 for like 200, I think. I can't remember. It's been a while since I ordered them. But I just give people these all over, wherever. Sometimes I like to give them to travelers. And I've asked travelers, and I met people on TikTok and stuff, and I've given them to them, and I've asked them, hey, since I can't go out and travel around, I'm a stay-at-home daughter, could you, put these in places that you go on your travels, I get to go along with you energetically, and then take pictures of them, and then hashtag them straight people like Rainbows too, or @Standing Turtle for me. And sure, do they do it? No. Why do you even say you're gonna do stuff when you're not gonna do it? We live in such an unintegral world. Integrity is doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. How many people do that? About 20% in the town I live. You can't make an appointment and have anybody be on time in 5 years. So you take the sum of those all parts, and you're going to tell me I live in an integral place? That's not how it works. I need to blow my nose. Stanley's got his zoomies! Zip, zip, zip! Zippity dip. You got zip in his pep in his dip. Ma, you gotta get up? Yeah. Oh, you gotta go to the bathroom? Alright. Come on, get up. I gotcha. Oh, you're strong. Gotta get my bunny. I'm doing a live, so let's... Alright, come on. Let's get you back into bed. You got it? Okay. There you go. Cozy dozy? You're welcome. I'm coming, buddy. Okay. Stanley zip zip. Alright, that doesn't usually happen. If anybody's there, thanks for hanging out. Mom's, you gotta go, and she can't go by herself, so. Or she don't go by herself. So, I don't know if she had a traumatic head injury. A dude slammed her head in her car door when she was 38. She's, God willing, and the creek don't rise, she'll be 75 end of November. Sagittarius, she's the traveler, so she chose me to be her daughter so I could help her travel around, and we ended up back where she was born. So our story is just, it's remarkable. But see, the thing of it is, when you have people that live in loops and they just, play the same sports and do the same holiday and, go on the same vacations, like, they don't take an opportunity to have remarkable lives. That's not a remarkable life. That's just seeing things in different places. I'm more concerned about with what people are doing in the places that they go. Are they making it better than it was when they found it that? Or are they just going and fucking shitting in a hole and, leaving their stink and their trash and their evidence that they were there? What was I talking about? I was talking about hybrids and how they mess with you. Your whole mom. They've been messing with her whole life too, because she was a guinea pig. Because Way's mom was a guinea pig, and then Way's I was a guinea pig, where we were tested on, where they did things to us that they didn't do to everybody else. And it started when she was born. She was born with 2 club feet, so she was not grounded to this earth. So she had to learn how to walk and be just like everybody else. But still, she had deformed feet. Even though she made it look okay for a long time, her physical, and all the surgeries and stuff caught up to her. She knew she couldn't have like a career where she could be a banker or something like that. She was too short to, she was only 5 foot. She couldn't be a stewardess. She couldn't, she was beautiful, she could have been something like that where she lose, but she never got paid for her worth. People just took it from her. And so, and when she turned 18, she was adopted. She didn't, and her parents just, did the American dream, retired Air Force, husband, wife, mother had a boarding school, just the typical, we're just doing the right thing, they get it checked. For mom had a Jewish brother, Kelly, who did hair in San Francisco, and he died in the 80s. It's the first time I saw cremated remains was Kelly's. And then I was 12. And then but when she turned 18 and the checks stopped coming from the state to take her, then they just gave her some suitcases and put her out on the street. She wasn't ready and prepared for the world. So what do women do in the freaking 60s they try to find a man, take care of them. That's what they do. That's what she tried to do. She got married, had a practice husband. That didn't work out. She left him in Seattle, and I'll never forget the story because, she had a little dog, and she wrapped it up like a baby and held the dog like a baby on the bus because she had to take a Greyhound bus from Seattle down to Ventura, where she was from. She wrapped it up. That's the stuff we do to keep our family, man. We lived in places where cats got out, where, and we go back and try and catch them. It's heartbreaking. It's losing a family member, when you don't got a lot of people. And other times they made mom an example. They she's a hybrid because when I was born, this is a weird one. They used to do this in the 70s. I don't know. They probably still do it. Shit. the frequency of control. I'm just going to do what I want whenever I feel like it. When I was born in San Bernardino. Like I said, technically I'm an L alien because it's all by frequency, you know, because it's all about what you know, and knowledge is frequency, light, power, input, you know. And I don't have a lot of junk in, junk out, as you can tell by looking at me. It's not a lot. I got some, but not a lot. And so when I was born in San Bernardino, they took me out. I was cesarean. And Mom went through this alone because she didn't have nobody there. There's nobody in the room besides me and her. And they took me out, and they took me off to the NICU, because after they took me out, they proceeded to cut her uterus in half and take out one of her ovaries. I wonder what happened to all those eggs that they took. And you know why they do that? Or why they did that is because they would sterilize women of certain genetic makeup so they couldn't procreate anymore. They want to stop that bloodline. And that's what they did to her. I barely made it through the cracks of the veil. I don't think I volunteered to be here. I think I think it's like being, my incarnation here is like being in universal detention. And I'm just here to just take my lumps, keep my head down. No, I don't do a good job of that. And then just, you know, show people, hey, act however you want. There's consequences to every action. Just know what they all are before you, so you can make advised choices. Because unless you don't want to be here very long, because there's a lot of those people too. So, other things. Oh, Mom had a, I had to take her to the restaurant. Whatever she has, she does it. Okay, this is going to be too much TMI. This is the reality of the world that I've lived in. Before she got her head slammed in the door, she had this thing where, like, she went to the bathroom and I'll just speak in clinical terms, like the doctor spoke to me, because every time one of these things happened, I've always been right there with Mom, so she wouldn't have to go through it by herself. And so she was going to the bathroom, and she called me into the bathroom, and she's like, something happened. And I looked, and I said that, and it looked like that there was bowel movement, but coming out of her rectum, but it was actually her inverted rectum. So I drove her to the ER. She sat sideways, and then she was in the hospital for 32 months. I was a freshman, and I was running down back and forth from the school to the hospital to see her every day, and then go back to the school to catch the bus to go back home, because I lived in Central Valley and went to school in Redding, so I could go take care of the cats and stuff. And then I was taking care of by myself at 15 while she was in the hospital for 32 days. And the weird part of it is like, there were nights, my dad didn't usually live in the same town with me, but at this time he did. And he still wouldn't even, I'd sleep on his couch sometime, every now and again, but he was never really warm and receptive. He wasn't really excited about ever being my dad. So I just did the solo thing. And so we celebrate every time she has a bowel movement. You know, it took her 32 days. They wouldn't let her leave the hospital until she expressed gas, until she passed gas. So that's how you know that everything's hooked back up, because they did one surgery and then there was like lesions or something. So they went back in and did a second surgery, and that's the one that almost took her out. So I've almost lost my mom. I've gotten so many different versions of my mom. I just never got the full potential of her. Because she always had to spread herself so thin to be what everybody else wanted her to be too. So she's a good mom to me. That's why it's real important to me that I take such good, you know, I try to do whatever I can to take as good as care of her as I can. I've never been a 74-year-old woman. I've never been a 51-year-old woman before. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. I don't know how I'm supposed to act. I don't know how I'm supposed to, I'm just glad I don't go through that menstrual thing anymore. What kind of hell earth fucking curse is that? Like, they cut mom's uterus in half. Why couldn't they have done that to me? I wouldn't have had to deal with that for so many years. So, other things that common denominators, markers, they call it, like they say, like, hybrids, stuff. You call us whatever we want. We're just not like everybody else, because everybody else is too busy being like everybody else to notice people like me, I don't go to Husker football games. I had a chance. Peg Martin herself got, Marge, you want to go to the Husker game this weekend? No, that's cool. I'm good. I don't really like football. People are like, Peg Martin asked you to go to a Husker game and you turned her down? Oh my God. Oh my God. Peg Martin was the daughter of the fucking 4-star general attorney. He was the Surgeon General for the U.S. Air Force. I met him one time before he died. He was in his 90s. All military is people dressing up in little costumes. You ever watch that movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and just look at the military? And every time, and now I see military, I'm like, dude, they're looking more theatrical, because that's what DC is. It's an extension of Hollywood. You got people that have too many self-centered fears. They're not going to put themselves out there to be on a stage and perform. No. They're going to keep themselves hidden and go into the underground hidden production, which is the United States military industrial complex. Dude, they got it wrong. I was a mechanic. I was a wrench turner. I was a grease monkey when I was in the Air Force. That's how I got these pictures. I didn't even know I had this camera in my bag. The day I took these pictures, I used to get those disposable cameras. If you look here, all of those right there, those are all all those helicopters. And then here, that right there, those are all Humvees. That's before they sold Humvees. This is 03. They didn't sell them on the public market till 07. So what they do is they manufacture them. They did the same thing with Jeep. Back in the 70s, my Jeep is like that. The 2000s generation of Humvees, and this is how marketing joins with the forces. Okay, MASH is a TV show based on a war in Korea. So it's just a war show, okay? It's just a war show. And they're trying to make us, the ugly parts of war, And then they put Jeeps, because Jeeps were the vehicle back then, the all-terrain vehicle that they wanted to sell back then, And so, I grew up, it wasn't a kid's show. It's time to go to bed. And how many kids had to go to bed to na Suicide Solution. It's the name of the song. My brother used to trick me. He used to make me bets, and he'd be like, okay, because there's episodes that Larry was on, and then there was episodes that Charles was on, the snooty guy. And so Jerry'd say, like, it would be my turn to do the dishes, and he'd be like, and he knew the names of, now I'm like 3 years old. He knew the names of the actor. He's 2.5 years older than me. He could read at 6th, 7th grade level in the 2nd grade. He's a brilliant guy. He just doesn't use his brilliance for good. And so he would say, well, if Larry's on tonight, or he would make it, set it up so whichever one wasn't, he would win the bet. He always stacked the deck. He always cheated. Everything we did, he'd cheat, because if we did things fair and square, I would win, and he never want to lose to his little sister, right? So until I figured out that Larry Linver, who the actor's names was, and then he couldn't pull that shit no more on me once I figured it out. And so they had the Jeeps, and then, like, you know, I go out and I notice Jeeps and stuff here and there, and but now everywhere I see Jeeps, these $80,000-$90,000 Jeeps, and I'm like, how many people could you say drive those Jeeps today just because they did tummy time listening to MASH? Like, there is a connection to that. There's definitely a connection to that. And I had a girlfriend, she had one of those J7 with the big old tires, you know, and all that stuff. Like, it was fun to mob in it, you know, get a little, but, you know, once you drive it, then you're done. Shit on the interstate, freaking driving 65, like, it's not a comfortable ride. Like, it's just for show. And then I see people on my feed, like fast forward 2025, there's Jeeps everywhere. There's people on beaches, and all they do is they're going around in circles, and they're all kinds of little rainbow colored Jeeps like Skittles. And that's all they do. But society is going down the drain, but it doesn't matter as long as they have gas. And so this term popped in my head a long time ago. Heaps of creeps drive Jeeps. And I keep waiting for the anomaly. I keep waiting for the one that sets themselves apart from all the other Jeep drivers in all the land. And I haven't yet to find them. I still believe they're out there. Heaps of creeps drive Jeeps. And Humvees. Because they saw it on TV as a sign of strength and dominance and control. And that's not what God intended. So, anyway. Is anything going on over there? No? That's alright. I don't subscribe to people, so that is why my channel will never be large. Because if based on like attracts like alone, I will never have a large channel, because the people that will watch me would be somewhat like me, and I don't subscribe to people, so I don't want people to subscribe to me. Oh, I found this the other day. I knocked something over, made a big mess, and I was like, but then this came popping out. I used to keep every freaking one of my I have a bunch. I used to go to the experience for the experience, right? Because when I was a kid, I listened to music, and then this, because Mumford & Sons wasn't out when I was a kid, but when they came out, I really liked them because they reminded me like a different kind of a Dropkick Murphys, you know? Like, I liked it, you know? It was different, it was new. And then the brothers got mad, and then they broke up, and I was like, well, that sucks. I never got to see them in concert. And then they got back together and then went on tour in 2000. What year was it? 16? And they only went to very few places. This was an American tour, but they didn't go to very many places. They went to Houston, Dallas, Tulsa, Little Rock, New Orleans, Birmingham. They were on New Orleans on my birthday that year. Atlanta, Charlotte, Saratoga Springs, Indianapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, Omaha, Nebraska. That's where I saw them. Kansas City, Missouri, St. Louis. Some of these are marked out, I can't see. So I buy the t-shirt for the experience. Oh, shit. Shit's falling. This was the Mumford & Sons. There's a big X across the planet like the eclipses. There's a big X like the eclipses because they follow astrology too. Oh, I'm getting a reading coming up. I'm gonna see if I don't think she's gonna. I'm gonna see if I can upload it. I'm gonna see how the reading goes, and then I'm gonna see about putting it up on my channel. She's got a big follower. She's got a much bigger channel than me. But I don't know. We'll see. Shit. Oh, I'm like, what fell? It was my keyboard. So, okay. So I found this the other day. So I used to go to a lot of concerts, right? Because I never got to do nothing when we were growing up because we were so poor, it sucked. So what I would do while we were doing a whole lot of nothing is imagine a world that I wanted to live. If I could do whatever I wanted to do, what would I do with that? And that's what I had finally gotten to a point, and I got dumped. This is right before I moved from Omaha to Oregon. Oh, that's when I saw Mumford & Sons. This was back in 2008. This ticket stub. This is a whole story, this ticket stub. August 11th, 2008. And if you can see up at the top, it says main floor, row 3, seat 32. I had okay, and that means that the girl with me, the woman, she was older than me, she had seat 333. But I said, here, you take my seat, you sit here. Because there was like I don't know, for some reason I did. I'm a chivalrous person. And so, but she still ended up pointing at me and winking at me. And this is not the ticket that I bought. See, this is probably, back then, I don't know what a front row, third row center ticket for Dolly Parton would be in 2008. But see, what I would do is I would go to Ticketmaster the day of shows. And I would just say, find best available, and then see how much those tickets cost. And if it was, or if I could find a ticket that I was willing to pay the price of, then I would pay it. And so there was like less than $70. It was like $68. But it was high up. And I said, I didn't care. I didn't need to see Dolly Parton. I just, I grew up listening to her music. Because that was my the coat of many colors. We were poor. We had carpets like that. My carpet is like the coat of many colors now. It's a bunch of patches, makeshift. Do what you do to get by. And so I was like so far up at the Civic Center. It used to be, it was not the Civic Center. It was CenturyLink, and every time a new building, a new company buys it, then they go through the rebranding and all that shit. It's so unpurposeful. And so, but I was so far up that, like, when I looked down, I could see the back of her. That's how far up I was on the stage. So I was, like, up and kind of behind the stage. And, well, evidently the people with what they do is that if they don't sell those tickets in the front, that they'll take people and they'll bring them down to film the seats, because when media goes through, they don't want to get shots of empty seats. Like, the star isn't worth them. Like, they couldn't fill the seats. Like, really? So they take people from above. And an usher came up, and there's me and another woman in my same group. And she's like, are you guys together? We're like, no. And they're like, you come with us. And then brought us down. And that's how I got this. And saw Dolly Parton, third row center. But then I left all my, like, oh, okay, I saw her. And then that was it. But there's people that freaking worship. They straight up idol worship famous people. Like, I was talking to my Earth Angel the other day, and we were talking about, because I was telling her how, like, I like to sing, and she was asking, like, what kind of music Mom played when we listened to the car. And I said, well, she listened to stuff like Oklahoma, like we would sing songs like chicks and ducks and geese and, you know, like those, and like show tunes and stuff like that, you know, and she liked Richie Valens, like the Four Seasons, you know, and we used to listen to them, and I used to try and get my voice. I have a pretty broad range. I'm trying to work on my voice more. I have a very deep voice. I sang Mom the Rose yesterday. And then Steve Judd did a talk this morning about the rose. I was like, synchronicities are my friends when people haven't been. I forgot what I was my train of thought derailed. I don't remember what I was saying, but I was looking for this lip balm yesterday, so I'm gonna put some of that on real quick. They don't even make this stuff anymore. I used to have people come out, like if somebody had come out, like my dad came out one time to watch me graduate from ALS, Airman Leadership School, and I asked him to bring me a bunch of these tubes because they didn't have Rite Aid in Omaha, and this is the only thing. And this is 30 SPF. It's like taking your lips to the beach, even when you're nowhere near the beach. But he brought me like 6 tubes, but it was the wrong kind. My dad is such a douche, man. My dad looks like Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. My dad's the guy that has all of his teeth fucking pulled out of his head just so he can get fake ones so he don't gotta deal with it later. That's my dad. My dad is capital M fucking machismo. That's why I gotta be so careful that I don't end up like my dad. See how that works? I try not to be like him. I'm trying to be like my little mom, the little alien. Oh, Mom. You little turtle alien little bird lady. Yeah, she's so cute. I think I'll pray my way out of here today. But I think it's going to be a different kind of prayer. It's going to be this. If anybody wants a copy of this, I put it on TikTok. The back of it on TikTok. It's a TikTok. It's called the Warrior's Prayer. I don't like purple, but what are you going to do? Purple's my least favorite color. I like all the other colors because it's regality. You know what purple is to me? It's a make up your mind. Red or blue. And to me, red or blue is polarity. Positive, negative, electricity. You know, you got people that freaking join those streams, and it's like they're going to go either way. And it's like, make a choice. Make a choice. Make a choice. Pick a side. Pick a side. Make a choice. Don't play both sides. Don't play both sides. They play both sides. Purple plays both sides. Democrats, Republicans, they play both sides. It's all the same to me. So, about ready to get up, Ma? Yeah. All right, hold on. Let me wrap this up, okay? I mean, you can get up right now if you want. I'm not telling you not to, but I'll help you in a second, okay? The Warrior's Prayer. I am what I am. And having faith in the beauty within me, I develop trust. In softness, I have strength. In silence, I walk with the gods. In peace, I understand myself in the world. In conflict, I walk away. In detachment, I am free. In respecting all living things, I respect myself. In dedication, I honor the courage within me. In eternity, I have compassion for the nature of all things. In love, I unconditionally accept the evolution of others. In freedom, I have power. In my individuality, I express the God force within me. In service, I give of what I have become. I am what I am, eternal, immortal, universal, and infinite. So be it. I hope you have a rad day, and